What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Log+Jotter for January of 2025. Now I know this video is going live in February, but it did arrive to me on January 31st, so just in the nick of time. Someone reached out about a week ago to see what was going on because typically Log+Jotters will arrive in the first half of the month, and they did respond saying that there was an issue with the printing company, they were trying to get it resolved and they'd be going out very soon. And so what looks like happened to me is they made the business decision they'd rather them arrive on time in January with an error than delay them, wait for a reprint, and have them go out correct. And so you'll see that when we take a look at the notebook. The interior has a very glaring error. Fortunately, the external cover, the pages inside are all perfectly fine, so definitely still going to be completely usable. But again, pretty glaring error that we're going to see in a moment here. Before we do though, if you're not familiar with Log+Jotter, it's a monthly subscription that costs $5 a month. For that, they're going to send you a USA-made 3.5 by 5.5 inch pocket notebook with the page style of your choosing. You can choose from dots, grids, or blank style pages, and a unique cover design each month. Check out my playlist on Log+Jotter if you're curious about some of those previous covers. But for now, let's dive in and take a look at the very first cover design for 2025, and we'll start with that back cover as usual. So you can see very dark theme here, almost blends in with the background with that black background on the notebook cover. And then at the top, I initially thought this was a math strike pad, and there would be some historical precedence to that. We've seen that in the past with the Log+Jotter and the math strike on the back, and I was pretty excited about that because I always liked those notebooks and those themes. But upon closer inspection, it's actually not what it is. If you take a look under the Log+Jotter logo, you can see that life recorded. This is actually a speaker grate, and so that's a huge clue to what's on the front. Let's go ahead and reverse this and take a look at the front cover for the first time here. And our cover design this month, you can see, is a tape recorder. So really dig this cover. It's got that retro vibe, late 80s, early 90s feel to it. The monochromatic look really makes that red on the cassette as well as the record button pop. And it's kind of an analogy for the Log+Jotter notebook. Both of these are used to record basically a moment in time, whether you're making notes in here, keeping records, even drawing. They're all recording something, just like when you're recording on a cassette, whether that's recording music or you have a microphone plugged in there to record voice memos. Very kind of similar themes there, and I just love the overall dark look to it. So really cool looking cover. Now with that being said, let me know what you think of the cover. Let's get on to the interior and we'll start to see that error pretty quickly here. So right off the bat, I do get the dot style pages, so that's what that looks like if you were curious, and everything looks pretty normal so far. We have our inch ruler on the side, we have our life record on top, log dates, log summary, travel log, and then our page prompts. And we're going to go ahead and read through these and you'll start to notice what may have gone wrong with this notebook. So our page prompts for this month are Parents at Christmas, A Solo Holiday Adventure, Sketch a Trap, A Forgotten Family Vacation, Right and Evil Santa Plot, The Best Christmas Ever, Reflect on What Christmas is About, and When It Snows on Christmas. So pretty odd page prompts for a notebook we're receiving in January of 2025, and that's because this is an exact repeat of the December cover. And so we're going to see the same thing on the back cover as well. Issue design is Wet Bandits, December 2024, when it should be January 2025, and I would imagine they would call this one like recording or something like that for the issue design. We have our spot for our list, important dates, and the centimeter ruler. So pretty big error, but fortunately nothing that really affects the use of this notebook. I think it's still a great looking cover, and I don't personally use them in the month that they're issued anyway. They end up getting used months later, so not the end of the world, although for record's sake, if you go back to it, that can be a little bit confusing, but you obviously have your log dates over here on the front cover that you can write in there. So again, not the end of the world. Another thing though that was noticeably missing to me is that historically in January, they'll send over a small calendar about the size of the notebook that you can use as a sort of bookmark, but also to put behind the pages as you write so that they don't imprint on each other or have any bleed onto the following page if you're using a super inky ink in there. And so we don't get that this month. And so that's another possibility that maybe they were expecting those to be printed and arriving on time and they didn't, and maybe they didn't even notice the internal portion. My guess is it was the internal portion and they just don't have a calendar for this year. We've kind of started to see that. No calendar, no stickers, a lot more errors like this where we had a typo one month in the profile. This month it obviously has the completely wrong internal cover. We also no longer get the design inspiration around the notebook. And more it's feeling like, maybe they're phoning it in. I don't know if there's something something else going on in the background, went from 2 notebooks to 1 notebook, and with all these other changes, it definitely starts to feel like they're phoning it in a little bit, and so I hope to see them turn around. I'm going to continue to subscribe and hope that they can turn it around for us. I'm a big fan of Log+Jotter. I think they have some really great covers. I enjoy it. It's an affordable subscription, so I want to see them turn around. Hopefully there's not more going on in the background where maybe these disappear in the future altogether. But again, let me know what you think down in the comments. As usual, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share it with someone you think might enjoy it, or check out some of my other videos. They'll help the channel out a ton, and I hope you have a great one. Take care.